For decades, the password has been the one and only key to our entire digital lives. But let's be real for a second. That key is fundamentally broken. So it's time we explore what's coming next. A future where logging in isn't about what you can remember, but about who you are. And that brings us to a pretty wild question. No, I mean that literally. What if instead of struggling to remember your dog's name from 2008 plus some random number and a symbol, you could log into your accounts just by thinking? I know, it sounds like something straight out of science fiction, but it's actually closer than you might think. And it's all part of this massive, massive shift in how we approach our own security.
Look, the core problem we're all trying to solve is actually pretty simple. The password, a system that was designed for a much, much simpler internet, just can't keep up anymore. It's a daily frustration for all of us, it's a huge security risk, and honestly, it's a relic. It is long past time for a serious upgrade.
Okay, so to really understand where we're headed, we first have to get a handle on just how stuck we are right now. This is the reality of our current password predicament. We've all been there, right? That endless, frustrating loop of forgetting a password and hitting reset. And then there's the strong password paradox. The stronger and more secure it is, the more impossible it is for any normal human to remember. So what do? We reuse passwords. And that's a total disaster when data breaches happen, which they do, constantly. We've gotten so used to it, it's like we have data breach fatigue. But all of this stems from one single fundamental flaw. The whole system is built on a shared secret. And in our world today, secrets are almost impossible to keep. But here's the good news. The first wave of the solution is already here, and it's being driven by artificial intelligence. AI is quietly and very effectively becoming our digital guardian. And this, right here, this is a huge leap in how we think about security. We are moving away from a system based on what you know, some static piece of information, to a system that's based on how you are. So instead of a vulnerable, unchanging password, AI uses your dynamic, totally unique behaviors to verify you're you, and it does it continuously. It's a shift from a brittle old lock to an intelligent, adaptive security system. So how does this actually work? Well, think of it like this. AI is constantly learning your habits. It knows you usually log in from your laptop in Dublin around 9 a.m. So if a login attempt suddenly comes from Tokyo in the middle of the night, bam, red flag. Instead of just letting them in, it triggers an extra security step. Or maybe it just blocks access altogether. It's a brilliant way to add this powerful layer of security without bothering you one bit during your normal routine. And this is where it gets really personal and really cool. AI can analyze patterns that are almost impossible to fake. We're talking about something called behavioral biometrics. This is the unique rhythm of your typing, the subtle way you move your mouse, even the way your phone sensors can detect your walking style. All these tiny, unconscious behaviors create a digital fingerprint that is uniquely and only you. Okay, so if AI can understand our external behaviors, what's the next logical step? Well, you go deeper, to the most futuristic idea of them all. We're moving beyond how you act to how you think, using the brain itself as the ultimate key. This is called neural authentication. The basic idea is to use an EEG system, a device that measures the electrical activity in your brain, to identify your unique brainwave patterns. Seriously, think of it as a fingerprint for your mind. It can't be stolen, it can't be copied, and you can't forget it. It is just you. And listen, this isn't just theory. Researchers actually put this to the test. They had people look at a specific set of images while wearing an EEG headset. And the result? They could identify individuals based on their unique brain responses with, get this, 100% accuracy. And what's even crazier is that if you change the images, you can effectively change your brain password, which is something you definitely can't do with your physical fingerprint. But, and this is a huge but, with this kind of incredible power comes incredible risk. And that brings us to this central dilemma here. If we use our thoughts to log in, who gets to see that data? How is it stored? Who protects it? The privacy implications are just staggering. It really opens up a Pandora's box of ethical questions that we absolutely have to answer before technology this intimate ever goes mainstream. So let's be realistic. We're not going to jump from passwords to brainwaves overnight. The reality, at least for the next decade or so, is going to be a mix of technologies, a kind of hybrid future, where we gradually and hopefully intelligently phase out the old system. As we look at our options, you can see there are some clear trade-offs. Passwords, we know, are just low on security and low on convenience, bad all around. Now, newer things like passkeys, which basically use your phone as your key, are a huge step up. Biometrics are also really strong, but they come with slightly higher privacy concerns. And then, way at the far end of the spectrum, you have brain-computer interfaces, or BCIs. They offer the absolute highest security and convenience, but they also carry the absolute highest privacy risk. Navigating these choices is what's going to define the next decade of security.
But what's the whole point of all this innovation? It's not to create more hoops for us to jump through. The ultimate goal, the holy grail, is to make top-tier security completely seamless. It's protection that works so well in the background that you don't even have to think about it. That's it. That's what we're after, invisible security.
So what does all this mean for you, right now and in the near future? How can you actually prepare for this new era of digital identity? You can absolutely start today. First things first, if you're not using a password manager, please get one. It is the single best way to stop reusing weak passwords. Second, enable biometrics, Face ID, fingerprint scanners on every single device that supports them. Third, start using passkeys as they become more and more available. And finally, keep an eye on some of the bigger ideas out there, like self-sovereign identity. This is the concept of a universal digital wallet that you control, letting you prove who you are without relying on big tech companies to manage your identity for you.
You know, this entire evolution is moving us away from a system that relies on the flaws of human memory and toward one that embraces the beautiful uniqueness of human identity. It's a total redefinition of our relationship with technology. The question is no longer what you can remember, but simply who you are.